Welcome to today's Thought for the Day. I'm Paul Hardingham, the Vicar of St Peter's. And in just over a week's time, we'll know whether we're coming out of full lockdown or what further restrictions we'll be having to live with. I don't know how you feel about that. For me, if I'm honest, a major feeling is that of disappointment. I'm disappointed that I can't see my family, especially our new grandson Joshua, who was born 5 weeks ago. I'm disappointed that I can't get to the gym, which provides an important me time in my week. And of course, I'm especially disappointed that I can't minister to the church family at St Peter's, whom I know and love, and most of whom I haven't seen for almost 9 months. I think disappointment is something that we all share. It arises from expectations that we have about life, especially as people of faith. The problem is that we take on the narrative of our Western culture. It's essentially a consumer story. This says that our lives should be long, they should be healthy and safe, that we should be able to become anything we want and to live wherever we want. We should have relationships that fulfill us, with incredible partners and families, homes and holidays. And we should retire one day, preferably early, to a place somewhere we enjoyed on a favourite holiday. We're disappointed when our life doesn't work out like this. Yet this is the very story which is being challenged by the pandemic, as we face restrictions on our expectations of life, including the threat of death itself. Now, Jesus had significant things to say about this, especially in his story about a wealthy farmer. He said, "The ground of a certain rich man yielded an abundant harvest. He thought to himself, 'What shall I do? I'll say to myself, you have plenty of grain laid up for many years. Take life easy, eat, drink, and be merry.' But God said to him, 'You fool, this very night your life will be demanded of you. Then who will get what you've prepared for yourself?'" The story has a very modern ring, as this farmer's expectations of the future took no account of dealing with death or God. Like death, there are unexpected moments of life that interrupt our story. Things like illness, redundancy, divorce, and especially the pandemic. Perhaps if we paid more attention to how the pandemic upsets us, then we would discern a little better where our hearts are set in our life story. Our disappointments, fear and anxiety really reveal what we're living for. What expectations do you have of your work, your family and friends, your home or health, your relationship with God or church? If I'm honest, all of these areas of life have been challenged this year by the pandemic and what it says about expectation. If we want to hold on to our story, how well is it working out for us? At the end of the parable, Jesus brings this challenge. This is how it will be with whoever stores up things for themselves, but is not rich towards God. Are we ready to change our story, to align it with the story that God has, that he wants to write in our lives? It's a story that no one can interrupt, disrupt, or stop coming into being. And if you're not sure what God really wants to say to you, why not read Jesus' parable in Luke chapter 12, starting at verse 13 again? We can ask, what does God want to be at the centre of our life story? How does he want to be part of the way we live? Perhaps another way of reflecting on that is to think about when we die. What words would we like to see written on our gravestone? What words would describe the way that we want to live our lives? With God's help, those are the very words that can reflect our life today.